I always do my budget from priority top down. So what's most important is at the top. What's least important is at the bottom. So if for any reason, my paycheck is less than what I estimated it to be, I know I can start taking money from these categories up. Right? And if it's more, then great. We can add more to savings or to any other of the other envelopes, things that I use on a daily basis. Hi everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. Today I'm here to show you the closeout of my monthly budget. So we're going to take a look at October. We are now in November, but we're here to look at October's budget just to review it to see how well we did or how poorly we did for the month, for our budget and for our goals. So the first thing I want to look at, because I always forget to do this, is the monthly goals to see how we did for the month of October. Here's October's layout, and the goals for the month were birthday gift, shopped, paid off Klarna. We put $50 to Discover. I did plan the Christmas trip, so we know where we're going and we have the hotel booked. I did contribute to our miscellaneous savings sinking fund. We did file for our passport, so we should get those in the next few weeks. I did increase my steps, my daily steps. So I'm basing that on the average that I've done for the weeks. So we did increase those this month. We did make $200. No, we did not make $200 on YouTube. So I already know how much I made for the month of October, and we did not make $200, but that's okay. I didn't, I figured that I wouldn't make as much, but that's okay. I've changed my filming around a little bit. I will be filming less, probably starting at the beginning of next year, because I'm going to be starting school. So that's going to take a lot of time. So I'll probably be filming less, but I will still give you short snippets of, my budgets and closeouts. Now that that's done, let's take a look at how we did with the budget. So here's October's budget. All right, so I did go through and I wrote out at the beginning of the month what I expected to spend in each of these categories. And then throughout the month, I also track every dollar that I spend. So I write it down here, either when I come home or I carry this with me, like to work, so I can do it right then and there. It looks like we estimated that the monthly budget for how much I would make in income would be $39.80, and that's because I knew that I was going to use $480 for the passport, or I thought I would. I actually used a lot less for that. Anyway, for the month, we actually made $5,097.48. That includes the September YouTube income, and it includes $12,000 of sinking funds that I use.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So sinking funds are savings that I created that are meant to be spent later in the year. So we use that on quite a few different things. Let me show you what sinking funds we spent. Actually, I have a new sheet that I want to show you that makes it a lot easier for me and for you to follow. Here it is. So after I have written out everything that I've spent, I highlighted it in the different categories. Let me show you the category sheet I also made. I've been on a roll with the budget stuff, but the other goal stuff, yeah, you'll see why the last week did not go so well. But I made out this budget sheet. These are the categories that I want to track every single month and every pay period. Hopefully you can see that. The lighting is not that good. Maybe I can brighten it up later. But these are the things that I want to track. So when I went through October, this is what I figured that I spent in each of the categories. I highlighted what I spent the most in. So that was groceries, toiletries, home, and savings, which is a good thing. And these are the percentages that I spent in each. So 25.2 in savings, 27.3 in home, and the next highest was 11.1 in groceries. Those are all things that I want to be the highest. Well, I don't want them to be, but if anything's going to be, high, those are the ones that I wanted to be in. There were some over budget categories that I've circled here. Savings, I crossed that out because that being over budget is a good thing. So I crossed that out, but we went over budget in home, grocery, kids. We went over budget in, and I put a little section here called why. So we went over budget, I think, for our groceries because we spent for snacks and Halloween that I did not budget for but like, pumpkins and whatever. Halloween, her costume. I also did her hair. That's how much we went over by, but I transferred $100 from her child beauty envelope to our Christmas envelope. I usually pay for her hair to get done. It's like about $200, but I've decided to start doing it myself for the rest of the year. So we saved $200. So I took $100 of that and moved it to our Christmas fund instead of paying it out to someone else. That was just my thought process, and that you may or may not agree on whether that was the right thing to do, but I do. That was it. That was the monthly budget. This sheet made it so much easier for me to close it out. I mean, I've been making it easier for myself little by little, but that made it easier. So each paycheck, I just went through, looked at what I spent, and wrote them in each of the categories. So that way I didn't miss anything. So at the end of the day, the total saved was $1,278.95. We spent on the paycheck $3,789. We used $1,272 in sinking funds. So the paycheck spending for the month that came out of my actual paycheck was only $2,515.68. The rest came from our sinking funds that we plan to use for passports and things that wouldn't normally come up in the budget. Okay, and these are the sinking funds that I used during the month. All right, last thing that I want to look over is the annual budget that I fill out. So this, you can't pay too much attention to this because I'm still working on changing this. I put in my own, I messed it up when I originally did it. So I put in my own things that I want to track. They don't necessarily always add up, but I want to be able to compare them month to month on what I spent for, things like home, utilities, gas. Gas, we only spent $32.79 in gas. So I'm down to about half a tank right now. We did not spend a lot of money in gas. I am working from home 1 or 2 extra days a month now, so that helps as well. And everything that we need is like right in the city. So unless we do something special, we're not driving far. For work, I park at a shuttle lot, which is something that I need to fix. So I might have to start paying for parking soon because that is not working out. All right, so that's it besides my 12-week year. So I want to show you back to my 12-week year, or eras as I'm calling them. So I am doing a 12-week year just to kind of monitor my goals and how I'm progressing in them. So this is the sheet that I've been using. If you're interested in how that works, take a look at that video to give you more detail on how it works and how I have altered it to work for me. So for the last week, which was the 27th through the 2nd, so October 27th through November 2nd, that week didn't go great. So that week, the goal score was only 76. So my goal is to reach at least 85. I mean, it's still a passing goal, I would say, but not great. So it looks like I'm doing good like every other week. So I'll fall off and then do better, fall off and then do better. Let me show you what I figured out for that week. So for that week, we did make 51,000. Nope, that's not it. That was last week. For week 8, we made 40,000 steps. Not bad, but not as good as I've done in previous weeks. And it's only because one of the days I could not figure out how much for some reason my watch didn't update in the app. But that's okay. My core workout, I only did it 1 time last week instead of the 3 times that I planned. I did not use my planner as much as I planned. But I did go to bed every night at 10 p.m. I did journal last week. I only plan on journaling once a week, so I did do that. Actually, I did it electronically. I just didn't find time to do it. So on a break at work, I just kind of took a section of my digital planner and just wrote out a journal entry. But it worked out. I still got it done. What I need to improve was I had a lazy week for sure. I did a lot of focusing on my budget and changing my sheets and monitoring my budget. So that's where most of my focus went. And I had low motivation. Probably spent too much screen time. And I did have a busy work week. The next few weeks at work is going to be busy. We're in the busy season getting ready for next year. For those of you that don't know, I'm an administrative assistant. So a lot of that work falls on me to get ready for next year and prepare everyone else. So it'll be a busy time the next few weeks. So that's it. October Sofi update. Actually, let me go in and I'll show you the interest that I got for the month of October for each of these categories. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I just took a look and I started at when I started SoFi, the interest rate was 4.6. It is now slowly, gradually gone down to 4.2 is that right now. I think for the month of October, it was 4.3. I'm not really sure. I can't remember 100%, but I'm looking at it now and it's at 4.2%. So it's gone down, but the national average, I believe, is under 1%. So it's still way more than I would usually have. Birthdays earned 15 cents of interest. And we've now changed parking debt to our miscellaneous savings. So nothing's in the bank for that right now. It's in cash. So I put a little X there. But this is what I earned for each of the envelopes. You can kind of tell how much is in, well, you can't tell. If you're really good at math, you could tell. But you can tell what has more based on how much interest I earned in each. So let me add this up. There was nothing in that savings bucket. So we got 36.70. So even though there's less of a percentage rate, it still was about the same for interest because we are automatically putting some of these are my automatic savings. So like her graduation savings envelope is an automatic savings. So we put money in that every pay period. Same thing for the emergency fund and the car note. So we put money in those every pay period. Car note also gets money taken out every month. So, that balances out. But that's it for those. As far as rollover goes for the month, I know I'm a little bit back and forth, but clearly I didn't plan well. So rollover, I already have planned out for this pay period starting in November. November for me runs from November 4th through December 1st. So that's payday, November 4th. It's the first payday of November. This is how much money I had left in the bank from October to roll over to November. Had a total rollover of $286.02. These were pending, so car insurance and groceries were pending payment. They were pending payment, so that's why I didn't count how much was left in those. So cash rollover, I had $100. So the $2 from personal, I just put that in the $1 challenge here. The rest I am just rolling over. So there's money left in pet, health, and kids. Those just got rolled over. So you can see I subtracted the $2. We have $100 in cash, 186.02 left in the bank. Mostly because I did not use any money from our gas budget. So we're going to leave those in there as buffers. I'll probably even them out just to see so that I'll have about $100 in each. So in my main account where I do my groceries, gas, and toiletries, and in my bill account where I do all the other bills. That way, in case, a bill comes up that I wasn't expecting or something comes out that I didn't know was pending, there's money in there just in case. Also, if I need to do any online spending, I have that money there that I can use, and then I can go back to the bank with the cash from whatever envelope I've spent online and replace it. We spent a lot, we saved a lot, we used a lot of savings. So it was an interesting month. We're just preparing for next month now. I did show you guys my November monthly budget, and I have to go through and show you my pre-payday prep. So now that I know exactly how much my November paycheck will be, I can do the monthly budget, which will be, I could do the bi-weekly budget, which will be really easy because we lined out the monthly budget by pay period. So whatever extra I got, we estimated that the paycheck will be $1,700. Hopefully it's more. So if it is more, we can just fill it in. If it's less, we can adjust starting bottom up. I always do my budget from priority top down. So what's most important is at the top. What's least important is at the bottom. So if for any reason, my paycheck is less than what I estimated it to be, I know I can start taking money from these categories up. Right? And if it's more, then great, we can add more to savings or to any other of the other envelopes, things that I use on a daily basis. All right, that's it. Like I said, next video will be my bi-weekly budget or my pre-payday prep. That's what I call them. So we're ready for that. I've already prepped. I'm ahead of the game this time. I'm trying to do better this month. I've already prepped November's monthly budget. So I did that here. This is how much I expect to spend throughout the month. So when I close out November, I can compare it right here on this sheet, and each pay period, I can write those out to keep it pretty simple. Doing it every pay period makes it easier at the end of the month because I can just add those two together. That's it. So the question of the day is, I'm getting ready for next year's budget. I'm trying to prepare early because I know I'm going to start getting busy really soon. I don't know how I want to budget for next year. So this year I've used a combination of budget planners. I've used this one, which is huge, and I did like it, but I wanted something that I could carry with me. So I got this planner from Clever Fox, which I have been using. And I like it because everything's in here. I can do my monthly plans right here, right? I can do my goals, all my layouts right here. Weeklies are right here, right? So those are my weeklies. I can do, whatever I plan throughout the week. I can keep myself organized. And then we have, of course, the budget in the back. So this layout I really like because I can, do my expense tracking right here, and I can do my budget layout right here, review it at the end of the month. Everything's all in one book. But this book is heavy, y'all. This book is heavy. It's heavy. So there are a couple of things that I can do. I can split up my budget and go back to this book. I can do that for next year. I can go back to my own budget sheets, which I really liked and worked well. And I like that I can personalize them. So like I have my closeout sheets. I have my midweek sheets that I can review my budget. So I have all those. And I had originally my own budget sheets that I made. Oh yeah, okay. This was December of last year when I was using my own budget worksheets. So I can go back to using these in this binder that I have set up with all of my months, right? So I've used this before as well. Or I can do a combination. So there's several. Obviously, I've been thinking about this a lot. So for those of you that don't know, I have ADHD. So things have to be done my way. Otherwise, they don't get done at all. So I can go back to these and use in my binder at home. Or I can put these into an old binder that I have. So I can make these smaller and, get a little hole punch, a 6-ring binder hole punch. And I can use this. So this, I just set it up for November and December to see how I like using this binder, because I could customize this myself. There's a monthly, there's weeklies in here. These were all things that I already had. I already had the binder. I already had all this stuff from an old binder that I bought. And I can go back to using this monthly budget, which the layout I don't really like. I already decided I don't really like this layout, but it's the only ones that I could find that were made for this. But like I said, I could take the ones that I created, buy a 6-hole punch, print them smaller on, quality paper that I could also buy from Amazon, which would still be cheaper than buying a whole new planner. Or lastly, there's a planner that I saw on Amazon that has the budget, the weekly, and the monthly all in one. It has an expense tracker, and it has, most important to me right now, is the annual year. This one, of course, this one doesn't have it, but it has an annual budget that I can look at because I want to be able to compare, what the year was like. So, like here, this was the most important for me to find in a planner. So those are my options. I'm possibly looking into just buying a planner that has everything already set up for me, just to save me some time. I won't have to print out everything. So it'll save me some ink, it'll save me some time, but it will not be as, personalized that I like it. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. And thanks so much for watching. I want you to always remember it is about progression and not about perfection. Happy saving. Bye.